All right, it is number 5. Ask questions. Shim, you got the questions. I got the answers. Fire away, sir.
Number 1, which is the better phone, Android or Apple?
Android.
What is number 2? What is something most people just don't want to hear?
Human beings are not created equal.
Number 3, what thoughts do you have at 3 a.m.?
Did I lock up downstairs? Every door? Every window? Is it locked
Number
up?
4, what song is stuck in your head right now?
Your cover of Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff.
Number 5, what is the biggest red flag about you, good sir?
Look at this face. This is not the face of someone who's happy all the time. That's a red flag. And that is 5 fast questions.
Getting deep, getting balls deep on a couple of these questions.
All right, let's get through some of these here real quick. So, well, I mean, we start with number 5 usually because it's the last one. I'm sure that there's a ton of red flags about me, but it's something that I've had to deal with pretty much my entire adult life, especially since I've had facial hair, especially a beard, is I look pissed off all the time. And there's a reason.
Well, you said you've got permanent.
Your
exact words were you've got permanent resting bitch face, correct?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so then number 1. Okay, now we get into it. What is the better phone, Android or Apple?
I've had both, and I've had problems with every Apple, every iPhone I've had.
Right. Okay.
Like when you're like the biggest thing that I have an issue with when it comes to Apple, and this was with every single iPhone I have had, was when that contract time would be up, like the 2-year mark.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they start doing those updates, which they fucking admitted to. They fucking admitted that they crank it up so the battery dies super fast.
Timer.
No, because this is the topic we're on. The timer's for tangents. This isn't a tangent.
Okay.
I'm talking
you sound like you're on a fucking tangent. Okay.
No, I'm talking about how Apple is fucking inferior because when they're like, oh, check out all these new features. And it's like, sweet, Samsung had that 3 years ago.
Okay, let me ask you a question related to this. Yeah. How important do you consider it to be that more people are on an iPhone than an Android and that they don't communicate perfectly on a bunch of stuff? Like if you try to text someone, you try to do FaceTime audio, you try to do a FaceTime call, you can't do it if the person's got Samsung. And then certain apps like Google Drive works like seamlessly with that sort of stuff. And then SoundCloud or not SoundCloud, the other ones, you don't give a shit.
Zero. That's how much that matters to me. I want a phone that fucking works. I've had so many other phones that are just amazing. They work through and through. It's at the 2-year mark. The battery still lasts. I mean, I remember when I first moved to El Paso, this would have been 2015. I had an iPhone. I used to have to keep the light on the screen. I used to dim that thing all the fucking way down because the battery would die in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Apple.
All right, let's move. What is something most people just don't want to hear?
Human beings are not created equal. We're not. Yeah. Everybody's fucking different. And I think that unfortunately we've kind of gotten into this mindset of where, because we were kind of raised on the everybody's created equal. All men are created equal, like was the big phrase and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I think that we bank on that too much, or we believe that too much, when in reality it's everybody's different, and that's what we need to be embracing. We don't need to consider everybody doesn't need to be equal. Now, do we need the same rights? Should we be treated nicely? Fuck yeah. But is everybody equal?
Yeah. I think the caveat I would add to that is you're not special. That's what I think people need to hear. You're not special.
Yeah.
People mistake unique with special. They're like, I'm unique. Yeah, you are. That goes hand in hand with not everyone is created equal. You're unique. You're built differently genetically and everything from the ground up. But you're not fucking special. This idea of
being unique could mean you're just a dickhead too. I mean, because that's also a possibility as well. There's people out there who are just dickheads.
Yeah. And most dickheads think they're special.
Well,
they think
but again, I think where a lot of this comes from is that back in the day, obviously, when you want to talk about racism and sexism and things like that, is that we realized, oh shit, like this scale is not even close to being even. But we're getting to the point now where I think we need to take a step back and realize, no, not everybody is equal, and that's a good thing. That should be celebrated. We should celebrate our differences. but that doesn't
Good
mean
luck.
we get to be assholes to each other. Like that's kind of, I think, the
good
underlying
luck.
thing there. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What thoughts do you have at 3 a.m.?
Fuck. Did
Other
I
than
lock all the fucking
I'm
doors?
a piece of shit and nothing's working and I don't know how I even made it this far and I'm
No,
letting
those
everyone
are my
down.
thoughts at midnight when I'm trying to fall asleep. When I wake up, I'm wondering if, especially after, like, my wife and I were watching the Jeffrey Dahmer. We watched the first episode of the Netflix series, and so of course I triple checked every fucking window and door. Although he wasn't a guy that would come creep into your house, but still, it's like, fuck that noise, man. So yeah, it's at that moment because the second that thought pops into my head, I got to go check. I'll try
and then you're
try and I will try and try to not let it get to me. And I'm like, dude, you double and triple check things more than anybody on the fucking planet. You have songs for when you fucking check the fucking deadlock. This is locked now. Lock.
Wow, that's some OCD. I didn't know you had songs.
Yeah. Like it's
that's
bad,
sickness.
dude. Like it's deadbolt, locked. Like it always reminds me too of I think it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, how Charlie learned from his mom. You touch everything in threes, like 1, 2, 3, closed. 1, 2, 3. That here's how bad it was at one point. When I would leave the house, when I was working on the morning show, I was always concerned I left the garage door open because I don't want to leave the garage door open because my wife and kid are home, and it's not like I live in a shitty neighborhood. Nobody's going to fucking come in, but that's always a concern. Yeah. So what I would do is, as I'm looking at the garage door, I would pinch my leg hard, like hard. So then when I got 3 blocks down and I'm like, did I close the garage door? I would feel that pain in my leg, and that would be my reminder, yes, you did.
Oh my God. That's a massive insight, dude.
This is fucking deep diving here, buddy.
That is a deep dive. That's... Wow.
I'm always trying to think of ways to simplify my life, and unfortunately, inflicting pain so I would remember something was something that's stuck in my.
That's just the best option you've got right now.
And I don't even know.
Don't write yourself a note. You could write yourself a note and put it in your pocket and be like, "Yes, you did it," or just have a checklist, tick it, put it in your pocket. But no, let's cause bodily harm.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I caused bruises at some point, but then the problem is you can't do that every day because then it's just the same part of your leg's always going to fucking hurt.
That's the problem.
Yeah. For me.
Not the psychological warfare going on a daily basis that leads you to that place in the first place.
A battle that's always
not the problem.
That battle will always rage until the day I die. And I've come to grips with it. You need to as well.
I don't fucking hurt my body, man.
Well, it's not like I was drawing blood. It's just enough so that I would feel like in 3 blocks that was still there, so I would know. Yes, I closed the garage door.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's great. I love you. All
right, last one. We got our last one.
He's crying. Right. Well, the song is stuck in your head right now. That's right.
It's your acoustic version of Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff. I told Shim, dude, you got to cover Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff. He did a phenomenal job.
This was Brandon's idea, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. But the true talent comes from Shim, and the way that he did it, and the way that it's done. I have an idea for a video that I want to do with it. So if you guys can film something, and whether that's on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, and use the song as your background, like let's say you're having like a frustrating kind of a morning, or it's just been one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks.
If you go to @ShimMoore on TikTok, you'll find it. Go ahead and use the audio. If you guys want to make your own little version of anything that you deal with during the day that just drives you fucking nuts, where you're like, nah, keep it together. Don't lose your shit over this. You go ahead and make a video using that audio and share it with your friends. That's what it's for. It's for you guys.
And do a lip sync to it too. Maybe if that's kind of what you guys want to do on that one. Yeah. So as you can tell, we have the wrap-up music now. I'm incorporating a lot of different things here. It was blowing Shim's mind earlier.
Brandon's been putting the hard yards in, as you can tell.
Yeah, because either that or I'm inflicting pain on my leg because I didn't close the garage door.
I think honestly, that's the positive. To be like, yo, like I do the same thing where like if I can't find someone to complain about my shit to, which is most of the time now because I'm a little bit older, you got to write a song. So you got to put it into something positive. You got to put it into something. So putting it into work, nothing wrong with that.
Well,
that's better than inflicting pain.
This is our work, even if we don't get paid for it. Hopefully one day we will be. But on that note, just a reminder, check us out on the socials at The Real Brandalorian for me on YouTube and over on Instagram. Goat the Brandalorian over on TikTok. Like Shim said, it's Shim Moore on TikTok. It's Shimon Moore over on YouTube. And then your Instagram is just Shim, but look for that little blue check mark right there.
Look for those blue check marks for Shim.
And then, of course, we're dropping all these
Facebook
episodes. We get these, the remixes done here on Wednesdays. And then coming up next week, we're going to wrap up Ozfest. I think we might wrap it up. It might take 2 more episodes. I'm not quite sure. And then after that, we're going to be doing a dive into Korn as well. So on that note, his name is Shim. He is the rock star.
His name is Brandon. He is the DJ. Class is dismissed.
There's still a few seconds left. Oh, yeah, hold on. It's about to wrap up. Are you ready for this? Start dancing to it. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, that's
big finish. Big finish. Did I get it?